Morning. It's about 7:30 on the 29th of April. Didn't put the rods in again last night, just took a bit of a rest and rested the peg. So caught up this morning just after the rain stopped about 6. Put all the rods out. Basically bags on all of them. Just go and some tiger nuts, basically a mix of those. As you can see, it's changing. It feels a bit colder. Yeah, it's windy, it's spitting, it's a bit of rain. We'll have to see whether that affects anything. Quiet so far. Just had one herabuna that picks my tiger up, so not as unexpected. Let's see what happens today. We have to pull the rods out about lunchtime, so we need to go and get some gas canisters. We need to cook some more particle up. So I'll probably put some bait in about 11 o'clock. Put some bait in about 11 o'clock. And then go with some gas canisters, come back, put the rods out, cut the particle, it should be ready for the afternoon. Bite time. Afternoon, about 10 to 3 on Tuesday the 29th of April. We're into what is my 5th day, and today things have returned to normal, and I haven't had a bite. I'm filming this in the car because outside the wind's really blowing down to that end of the lake, or that end of this arm. So I can't really film outside, and when the rain comes through it might ruin the camera, so I'm filming inside. I haven't done much filming outside, but things have returned to normal. Not had a bite. I had a couple herring this morning, but that doesn't count really. There's the guy on my right, a couple hundred metres up. He hasn't had a bite either. The guy on the corner, Suigestu, he's not had a bite today. He's not had one since last night when he caught 104cm carp. We think it's the same carp that I caught on Friday, so it's just hung around and got caught yesterday. We're going to compare photos later, but it was one with a scabby tail. I don't know why, but I haven't got any photos from one side. I've got video of it. I haven't got photos. I've only got photos of one side, and his photo on the mats of that side of that fish. So I'll have to compare notes later and see if it's the same one. That'd be interesting if it was though, because it meant that fish had just hung around here and is still eating for for 4 days. Talking about the wind, I mean, I didn't really ever think wind had a big impact on this place. But reality, I never really got a chance to test it because there's only ever me fishing it. So, I mean, now Chris is down and on the end of this wind, Odasan's on the end of the wind. I'm on the side of it. These guys are affected on the back of it, although there's a lot of lake behind them as well, from that point of view. And Chris has caught today. He's had two 90, a 30 odd pounder and a big 20, and he's been done once as well. He had a double hit, and it spoiled him. Unbelievable, really. So, I mean, it's looking like the fish are down that in the lake because he hasn't caught anything up till now. I don't know how long this wind's forecast for. I need to check the internet in a minute, but I'm going to guess we've got it tough here until this wind changes direction. I put the rods in this morning. I pulled them out about 11 AM because I had to go and get some gas. I've run out of gas and I can't cook the particle to bait tonight. I'm not going to put some. Luckily, I'm not soaked so much, but I can't put so much in because I'm not convinced it's all been eaten. So about 11 o'clock I topped up with some boilies, put about half a kilo maybe, across all on the front of the peg. Took a break, went to the shop and that, and got some food and stuff. And put the rods out. I haven't put them all out. I put 2 left and right of each of the 3 sets. That's 4, and then the one at the end. That's 5. So I've left 2 out. I've left the ones out that haven't really been going off. I'll probably leave them until about 6. I'm gonna feed again. I'm gonna go to a little restaurant behind me and have dinner with Suigestu-san and Shima-san, who's in his fishing team. And I put the rods out again for the night. I didn't put them out last night, but I think I will tonight. I mean, I've got to make the most of this. It's not often we get to do a long session, and it's almost, whilst a rest is required, it's a bit of a waste not having the rods out in the night. I think I've had 2 nights without that now, so I've caught up on some sleep. I'm interested by that wind though, because I've got so much food in here, and obviously these fish are just mooching around here, milling around here. Suigestu-san's catching fish that have been eating hemp. He's caught the same fish as I have. That guy in the middle hooked a beast yesterday and got spooled on got a multiplier reel, to be fair, and a Japanese style carp rod. But he's got spooled. He's gone straight out and then right. That must have been a big fish. That's what they do. So I'd have thought that bait would have held them here, and I'm just really surprised that on the wind they move this quickly. Really didn't expect that. To be honest, my impression of his lake was it didn't really matter. Oh, get in!
My feet are freezing. It's a pop-up solar club pop-up on a multi-rig. Oh, it's a nice carp. really nice carp. Could be a few pound in it. I think it's 30. I'm surprised if it's not.
Right, there was I think I was telling you how it returned to normal, and I hadn't caught today. And now we only caught four fish between us for the first 2 years on here. I might be talking about how I didn't think couldn't believe all the fish would have gone down on the wind. I thought some might be left on the bait. There you go, and the rod went off. It was a far left rod on a pop up. Never caught so many fish on pop-ups before. Solid club, little 15mm pop-up, heavily glugged. It was a good fish. It was 98 centimetres, 14.5 kilos, 31.11 I think it was. Got a few nice photos. The light isn't great. Happy days. I haven't planked today, so that's first priority. Fingers crossed we'll get a couple more before 5 o'clock. Fancy having a celebratory beer, but just in case a big hit comes up, and I'm going to leave it till later. Anyway, good news is we've caught one. I've got 2 other rods out. I've got one other rod out with a pop-up on it, so if they're having pop-ups right now, there's another chance. So we've got a standard snowman on as well. I don't know whether the wind's changed or dropped. It looks like it might have dropped a little bit and maybe swung a little bit round towards my bank, but it's still, you know, heavily pushed into that far corner, which is over that way. I'm just finishing making a particle. I'm going to put that in about 6 o'clock, I reckon. It's the boys got down here. I think I had the glasses on for that one. I think they were working, so fingers crossed we'll get some good footage of that take as well. We didn't fight really hard, just plodded around. Under the rod tip. I didn't think it was that big until I got it in the net and realised how big it was. Obviously it's a 30 pounder. I can't quite describe it really, because we spent so much time in here without catching anything. We could barely catch a Mikata, which is we now consider to be relatively easy. I don't know what's changed, whether our approach has changed, or whether we've just found the fish, whether the fishing's changed itself, whether the fish have got used to the buoys we've been putting in. But I mean, this is a hard lake. I think the reason no one's on it now is because of the reputation it's got. I said no one, relatively few people on. You know, and generally no one fishes it because of the reputation. So you know, what I've caught here, what I've catch it, really is unusual. And I've got another week left. Morning. It's about 9:30 on Wednesday the 30th of April. I had some dinner last night with the guys who were fishing up there, and I put the rods back in about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Put a few buoys over the top, kilo. Had a bite about 11:30. I didn't measure it or weigh it, photograph it even, about 85, weighed 20 odd pound. Just at the time I just put it back. That was on a rod down there, in the middle set, on a pop-up rig in the middle of the night. Don't understand that. But I had another bite this morning. That was an 82 centimetre. I've got some photos of that. Or edit me after this perhaps. That was on a B5 Snowman. Getting that middle set down there. And it looks like now the majority of bites are coming to that middle set. I mean, originally it was a right hand set. I'm only going to guess that's because actually all the bait are on the right hand side and that peg down there. It looks like the majority of the bites comes to the middle set, and I think it's because, I don't know if you can see this on the film, the bank's different. This has always been a shallow peg, but if you get down towards the bottom end where that single rod is, it's hard, compacted stones, old stones covered in weed. This end of the peg, I don't know, what about? I think it was about. I don't know, is it? Can't remember. I think it's probably about November or December time. And he dumped a load of this fine grit here. He dumped it right off the edge, right up to the water. Now it looks like the kind of rock salt. It looks like the kind of stuff you put on roads when it's iced up. That's why I just struggled with timing. Maybe it was in the new year. He dumped a load of it in. I mean, literally, this area here is probably 15-20 metres long. It went right out to the water. So, and that's slowly been eroded away. It's slowly been eroded away back to the wall, and that's all this grit, this sandy kind of stuff, is dispersed out with the waves and the wind. It's gone out that way. It's gone out that way as well. And that set of rods is really on the boundary of where that sand ends. So I think it's probably, not only is it going out that way, I haven't really plumbed this very well, but I think it probably goes over that way as well. So I think it's almost like a plateau where I'm at, where 2 sets of 3 are. And that explains why I'm getting bites on the left hand side. Left hand 2 rods of those, because actually they're onto the older bottom. Actually, I've put those 2 rods on the left, cast them left into deep water. They're over towards the single rod, which I've had more bites than I expected to. I intend that to be a throwaway rod with a big pepper pop up on it. Actually, I might revert to that after this. I haven't had so many bites on the right hand rod of this 3, which is basically the middle rod. It attributes that to being right. It attributes it to being right in the middle, so the fish have got to go past all the lines. They're a bit suspicious. But I've just moved all them round to the right, and likewise this set of 3 in front of the peg here. I haven't had many bites on the middle rod, I don't think. So I've basically moved that off. I moved that off to the right, so basically there's nothing straight out in front. And so we've got the left-hand rod over near this little buoy, the right-hand rod out at the bank, and the middle rod just over to the right. I recast this morning about 7:30. Catching that fish. I'll probably leave the rods in now till about lunchtime. So I'm going to have a shower in that and get some. I'm going to see Chris for the morning. As you say, the weather's reverted to. It's fine. The sun's shining. It's still a bit of a breeze, but it's nothing like it was yesterday. Hopefully that'll allow the fish to return. Just cooking some hen going into the night. The stuff I cooked up last night. It was still hot when I put it in. It's like burning my hands. It's too good. So I'd prefer that we don't have the same problem again today. I've got another delivery of bait coming today, so I've got another 20 kilos of hemp and 20 kilos of pigeon mix. is I've got a bucket on soak now for tomorrow, and then get that stuff, soak it, and then that's ready for the day after. I've got some more bait coming on Thursday, I've got some tackle coming, so Saki's on from NG Carp, he's sending me 20 kilos of stuff. Again, some bits and bobs of running out of. Right, I had a couple of bleeps on that rod, and to be honest, I got a bit confused. I thought it was a tiger nut rod, so I expected it to be a herring on the end of it, but it wasn't. It was a boilie rod. I pulled it out. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but it's a snowman rig, standard blowback. It's a white B5. I haven't caught a fish in those yet, but I'm running out of pop-up, so I need to change. If you can see attached to the 20mm there, there's a shimmy shell. There's a natural extra attraction. Didn't expect that. Right, it's about 3:30 on the 30th of April. Took the rods out before lunch, I had to go and do some stuff, and then I wanted to get them in a bit earlier than this, but I just got caught up doing it. Just got the rods out, got 3 on snowmen, 2 on pop-ups, 2 on tiger nuts. And I think I'm right in the middle, it's going to be bite time. The wind's changed, it's now going from this direction. I wouldn't say it's to my face, but it's certainly not that direction. So I feel like I'm an end of the wind, but I was just in Chris's peg over there, and that felt like it was an end of the wind as well, so it could be swirling a bit. So I believe off one rod there, I don't know which one it was. That's odd. It was that one down there, and the bobbin's on the wrong side, that's odd. Keeping out on that one. So it's 3:30. I'm going to get the feeding ready for tonight. Just got a part 2 of 3 emergency bait delivery. So I've got some sauce ground bait, 20mm. Sauce pointers, 20mm. I'll keep you going for the rest of the week. So yeah, so fingers crossed it's going to go well. I'll get a bite before dark. Right, it's about 7 o'clock on Wednesday 30th of April. It's been quite a slow day today. We had just 1 fish, and that was in the morning. And basically I had nothing else. A couple of bleeps and a couple of what could have been drop runs, but I think they were just herrer just messing around with the bait. But anyway, I've not had another carp since this morning. I haven't fed it yet. I will feed it. I'm just going to fish a couple of hours into dark, and I'll probably put the bait in about 9 o'clock. I just want to see if, if they do show up late. The wind's completely different now. The ducks are back, and I've just been editing some video today, and it looks the peg looks a lot more like it did last week, and when I caught earlier this week. So maybe it will happen. I'm just going to leave it a bit more time, see what happens. I've had a couple of liners on the rod with the swingers, so maybe they are here. If not anything by 9, I'm going to fill it in, and then get up early in the morning and we'll see what happens. I'm just tying some bags up. I'll probably leave the rods in, I think, now, but I'm tying some bags up for tomorrow. Certainly in the morning I'll recast with some bags on, and then after lunch I'll recast with bags. So I'm going to need a few. I'm going to tie them up now. I had another bait delivery today, so I've got 20 kilos of sauce, 20mm boilies turned up, a few kilos of pellets, and a few bits of bobs and tackle and that. So I've got some more PVA foam now, which is running very, very low, and I was having to cut pieces in half to make it last. So Sasaki-san, arigatou gozaimashita. Morning. It's about 6:45 on Thursday the 1st of May. Just got all the rods out again. It's been a very, very quiet night. Had nothing at all, not a bleep. A drop run, no fish. So all in all, it means it's been a slow few days. I spoke to Suigestu, who was fishing up there for quite a long time last night. He hasn't caught either. It just looks like the fish have done me off. I don't know where to, but it doesn't look like they're around here anymore. We've both got a problem. These are good pegs. If we move, we won't be able to get back in them. If we move, where do we move to? Because basically, there's a lot of people on this lake now. So you turn up for the long weekend. Where do we move to? I think I'm just going to keep putting the bait in and keep fishing it. I mean, the weather's right for it now. It's going to be nice and sunny today. Little wind. So hopefully it'll warm up again. The lake's come up about 3 inches. You can see I'm marking the water, probably at least 3 inches. I'm going to guess that's cold water coming in with that rain a couple of days ago. So hopefully it's get a bit of sun and it'll warm up again. I guess that temperature going up and down, temperature changes isn't going to be good for these fish, so let's see what happens. I put the bobbins on the right side of the rod today, just no winds, I'm not going to get any false bleeps. But it'll also mean if there's any line bites or if there's any fish move through. I think I've got 4 rods, maybe 5 rods on bags and 2 rods on pop-ups. I was debating whether to put the bags on or not. I put the bait in last night quite late, about 10 o'clock, so there should be plenty of it left. I'm hoping the bags will be a bit visual and give the fish somewhere to focus on. Right, it's getting towards the end of the daylight on the 1st of May. It's been a really slow day. Not a bite. Not a bit of a nightmare down there with the ducks, keep picking the bait up. I haven't had a bite all day. I've left the rods in as they were this morning, just for no reason to change that. Just had a couple down that end. Older Sand had one left at the hotel, he's had a big one, about a metre. And I've had nothing here. It just feels like this is just no carp corner. I'm going to feed it. Now. I'll take a break for a couple of hours tonight, have dinner with a friend who's fishing down there. Might have dinner with Older Sand and Chris. Get the rods in again tonight. If I don't get a bite by about 9 o'clock, I'm going to revert to feeding in the morning and resting the peg in the day, which was the plan A. I need to speak to Yoshi over there and see he's caught today. But if he's got the same result with me, I think it's time to revert to plan A, rest the peg in the day, look for bites at night and early in the morning. Unless I get one, this is the last posting today.
なんで立ちに
わかんない。
あ、じゃあフィッシャーマンが
そう、多分八角形の特許を持ってる人は聞いてないかな。Right, it's about 3 PM on Friday the 2nd of May. As you can see, I'm in a different peg. I haven't had I moved this morning, I haven't had a fish for 2 days, I haven't had a bite for 2 days. Yesterday on my right, I basically just had one fish yesterday, I hadn't had much before that. And Older Sand down the other end, hadn't had anything, and Chris has just had one bite and lost it. So the fish just weren't there in the numbers that they were before. So I had options. I could have just sat it out, sat on the bait I put in, invested in, or I could move. Now basically, that whole bay seems to have no fish in it. It's a big bay, it's 200 acres probably. So I kind of knew the fish weren't there. So I've just come somewhere completely different, which is basically, how do you describe it? Basically the furthest point from the exits. So it's at the back of the lake, if you like. Never fished this peg before, although I've plumbed it a couple of times in the past and really fancied it. I thought it was where a big fish got caught from last year, but I've just been corrected. Someone told me it was the next little bay over. So going from the left, I've got these two rods going out that way. Just a little bit further. You can see the green buoy over there. That's in about 5 foot water. It also seems to be over some bigger, lumpier rocks. So I'm fishing about, both rods are about 5 metres past it, about 10 metres into the lake and about 15 metres into the lake. You can see over there's a white thing there. Well, just to the back of that is a little, oh no, it's wrong, where is it? Where's that little, yeah, there's that's it. You can't, maybe you can't see it with the shadow. There's a little cutout, and basically I've plumbed, as long as those two rods stay left hand side of the cutout, they're in less than 11 foot of water, and so that means it's less than 4 metres, so the bottom should be good. Yeah, maybe this left one, maybe they're a little bit too far right, maybe I'd like them to be further left, but I think I'll recast before dark and just check the baits. Hopefully I get away with this one, this cast this time. That turtle's nowhere to be seen, which is good or bad news, I don't know. I've got this rod on the right, actually it's fishing all the way over here. So it's just off this, about there. There's about 8 foot of water there. It's right on the shelf, so I don't want to get too close. So going back, this bay just comes round here. There's some water going off the mountain, off the hill. There, and that's what we were told about in this peg originally. It looks like someone's had a good clear out of it, so I hope I haven't just dropped in someone's peg for this session. Oh, I just hit a fish. What was that? Thought I had a carp jumping over there. Maybe I did. Maybe I got it on film as well. Let's have a look through that. Is it a duck? So Tamura-san told us about this peg. It was good fish off the edge of that stream. So that's basically where I'm fishing. It comes round. I fished when a row comes in. There is what we call the monster peg. Caught a fish there before. Caught an 85 centimetre, 20 odd pounder a couple of years ago in the middle of the night. Tamura-san said he'd lost a giant one from there. As you go round, let me get my bearings here. I think that straight ahead is the gap between Suga and Suigestu. I'm going to guess under this tree over there is the gap between Mikata and Suigestu. Let's give you some bearings on where I'm fishing. Right, it's about 6 PM now on the 2nd of May. I'm in this new spot. got the rods out. I put them in about 2 o'clock. I've just recast now for the night basically. Pulled them out so I can make sure the bait's alright for these turtles. There's at least 2 turtles out here. I want to make sure the bottom's alright as well. And the leads and the bait's come back okay, so I've got no problem where I'm fishing. I've got the left hand rod here on a B5, it's a Snowman, it's not a B5 run out. It's a Source 20mm with an orange B5 pop up. Middle of the rod's on a double tiger nut in a short soft braid hook link in a bag. And they're basically cast down the margin. Probably into 2 and a bit and 3 metres of water. About just past the orange, the yellowy green buoy. This right rod's actually fishing over this way. It's quite a sharp angle. It's got a Snowman, so it's a Source 20mm bottom bait and a yellow fluoro yellow B5 topper pop up. We've sat here for a while now. I've literally seen nothing. I think I've seen one borer, so one mullet has been jumping out in the middle. There's no herring jumping, so I think I might have moved from no carp bay to no fish bay. I'm going to give it a couple of nights I reckon. I think tomorrow I might just sneak back to my old peg, put a kilo of boilies in, maybe even put some feed in if there's no one in it. Maybe all it needed was a rest. It'll just give me some options. Literally, this is much quieter. Obviously, there's no road. It's really isolated. So it's much quieter from a noise point of view, but there's literally no fish jumping. Which is a concern for me. I put this middle rod over there. I've got one on boilie, one on tiger nut. And the logic was, at least those turtles are going to get the boilies off. If they get on the boilies, they'll get the boilies off. I'm hoping they won't get the tiger nuts off. So I'm hoping that's my prime spot. Actually, I mean, to be honest, this size a throwaway. If it goes, it goes. But actually, one on the left is the point that I've been told about, and it feels and looks like the best part of the peg. So at least you've got to tie up to one rod there. At least you've got a bait in the water if the turtles do get to the boilies. To be honest, they're spending a lot of time swimming around on the top at the moment, so maybe it'll be alright. Again, so unless I catch one, it's wait until tomorrow.